run down that hill, I think I'll just be overwhelmed with adrenaline and nerve, and this is going to be fun.
Is it kind of tough to anticipate what they're going to do on defense with this being now the second year for their D coordinator, and you don't really know some of the guys they have on that front?
Yeah, it's always hard, and especially with it being the first game, you don't really know what they've changed in the off seasons. But at the end of the day, we have rules for our plays, and you just stick to those rules, and we get you through it.
Colton, I know you were John rotating at right tackle. Have you also been rotating right guard pretty on an even basis there too?
No, lately I've just been doing right tackle.
Right tackle.
What's that competition been like?
It's been good. Us three have all been really good in camp, and I guess we'll just see as it comes down to the game who ends up starting.
Have you been surprised to be in this position so quickly, like in camp competing for the first team spot?
I wouldn't say surprised. At the end of the day, I just come here and work hard and give great effort, and that's all I can control, and that sort of just takes care of itself at the end of the day.
Colton, we tend to think of tackles as you get into the biggest possible human being you can put there, but that's not always the case here. There's guys bigger than you that aren't necessarily playing in front of you. What is a tackle, a right tackle in particular, looking to do? What do you bring to that position?
I think the best thing that I have is I have quick feet. I'm a little lighter, I'm a little smaller, but I have real good feet, and I'm athletic, and that kind of overlaps the big part of it.
Right.
Goal for you guys as a unit, get about 7, 8 guys that can kind of rotate in and out there and provide some depth.
Yeah, that's what a friend wants to do. In the past we haven't been able to really do that. But this year it looks like we're going to be able to have 8 people that can rotate.
Is it repetitive to ask you what your feelings are? As now we're closer than we were last time we talked to you. The anticipation pretty high.
Definitely starting to get a little more anxious and a little more nervous, but I try not to think about it. And the first play is just only going to really, after the first play, then it'll settle down and just become football.
Right.
Do you feel like the rust has been completely shaken off and all that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Is it almost nice as a team that you get a game like this right out the gate, as opposed to you got to build up for week 4 or 5 to play a team like this?
Yeah, I like playing a top team like this at the very beginning, because if you can win your first game like that, especially against a top team like Clemson, that'll catapult you and give you start that trend going, and if you have that momentum going, it's hard to stop.
You mentioned that run down the hill. How aware are you about all that stuff in Clemson?
I got recruited by Clemson pretty heavily, and I went to a bunch of their games as a recruit. So I was able to see all that and I witness all that, and I know how much that means to them and their fans. So it's going to be exciting to see.
Have you been talking to some teammates about what to expect from hearing them?
No, not really. I think I think everybody pretty much understands running down the hill. That's pretty much a national thing, and we've all talked about it's going to be pretty exciting to see them run down the hill, because that's going to get the adrenaline pumping.
Are they kind of atmosphere-wise similar to an SEC kind of environment?
I would say so. They were probably definitely out of the ACC schools that I looked at, recruiting 4 years ago. That was definitely probably the closest thing to an SEC atmosphere I could find.
So should people be expecting? This is not going to be,
No, it's not going to be
typical ACC sit on your hands.
No,
the basketball season kind of crap.
No, and especially because it's a primetime game day and at 8:30 at night. That's what fans live for. So it's going to be fun.
How close did it come in terms of Clemson? Were they on your last list, or?
I don't even know if I really ever had a last list. I think I was pretty much dead set on Georgia. I looked at other people, but Georgia was always my home.
We've asked you so many times what it's going to be like for you to be on the field for the first time. But what about to your parents? What does this mean for them to see you finally out there?
My mom, she texts me about every single day, and she's had a countdown since about camp, about 30 days. And so I know how excited they are, and then I'm happy for them that they finally get to see me go out there and play.
Has anybody, since everybody was in touch with you, you were hearing from Scott Van Pelt and such before, have the last 30 days though, is that all kind of shut down, or you still in touch with people about it?
Not from those high profile guys, but I get some tweets every now and then from people just saying hear about my story and they're pulling for me, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know if after all that? It's become all
Yeah.
about football. For a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
died down. Yeah, it's become all about.
Is that nice? You're
Yeah,
not, you're not
yeah.
a cause anymore. You're not fighting. You're fighting for a starting spot.
Yeah, it's nice. You know, I just get to come and worry about football now. I don't have to worry about all that other parts of life.
How different, if at all, you've been practicing the past couple of years. Is there any extra added spark for you right now whenever you go out there?
Yeah, there's an added spark, but I was the kind of guy for 3 years that I don't want to slack off and hold back for the past 3 years because I always thought that there was going to be a time where I could play, so I always wanted to be ready. And so now I definitely have a little more of a spark, but I've always practiced competitively since I've been here, and I think that's what's helped me now that I haven't had that much of a drop off.
I noticed your shirt, the Under Armour All-American. Was that the last competitive game you've played in?
Yeah, that is. What was that? January of 2010, I guess. That was.
Are you wearing that on purpose this week, sort of as a steps that got you here?
No, it was just in my closet. I had old clothes.
I'm surprised it's not full of holes. That's old, man.
Yeah, it is old one, but they're comfortable. I like my golf shirts.
I missed all the first part of this, so I'm going to ask you stuff you've been asked already. How much do you do at guard versus how much do you do at tackle?
I haven't been doing any guard lately.
Really? So it's been all
So it's
tackle?
been all tackle.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable in your place, though, I'm guessing, because you've done a lot of both, right?
Yeah, I feel comfortable at tackle, and I feel comfortable at guard, but right now I've just been doing the tackle.
Interesting. And you and John are just 50-50?
Yeah, we're doing 50-50 right now.
Gotcha. Okay.